Welcome to Math with Professor V. This is part 2 of the video lecture for differential equations on the topic of exact equations. And in this video, we're going to work through 2 examples to see how to use an integrating factor to convert a non-exact differential equation into an exact equation. So the integrating factor we call mu of xy because it's some function of x times y. And we also use integrating factors when solving other kinds of differential equations. If you'll think to linear differential equations, a similar process is done. So basically you take your differential equation, you multiply it by this integrating factor, by this function, and that function will now make it into, in this particular case, an exact differential equation. So remember, to verify that we have an exact differential equation, we want del m del y to equal del n del x. Now, the only thing you need to be careful about is that when you solve the new differential equation, the one that is exact, sometimes the solutions of that equation don't satisfy the original differential equation. So in that sense, solutions are gained. Also, when you multiply by an integrating factor, sometimes you lose solutions. So you have to proceed with caution. You don't need to be too paranoid though in this class. You'll be given what the integrating factor is and you can just proceed and use it kind of worry-free. But out there in the real world, if you start doing stuff like this, just make sure that you're checking if you've lost solutions or if you have extraneous solutions. Okay, so here's the first example. Solve the following differential equation, x plus y dx plus x ln x dy equals 0 using, and then here's the integrating factor, mu of xy equals 1 over x. Notice we're given the interval from 0 to infinity because this integrating factor is not defined when x is 0. So we have to pick a portion of the domain for x where that would make sense for the integrating factor to be well defined. Okay, first, I just want you to see that this differential equation is not exact from the jump. So look, this is m right here, x plus y, and this is n. So I want you to just observe at the moment, what's del m del y? So partial derivative of m with respect to y, it's just 1. And then what's del n del x? Well, we need to apply the product rule, right? So derivative of x is 1, leave ln of x alone, plus, now I leave x alone, derivative of ln of x is 1 over x, and this simplifies to ln of x plus 1. So it's pretty clear to see these are not equivalent, right? So since at the moment these are not equal to each other, then my differential equation is not exact. Okay. Now I'm going to come through and multiply everybody in the differential equation by 1 over x. That was given to me as the integrating factor. So let's see what results when we do that. So 1 over x times x plus y dx plus x ln x dy equals 0. So distributing through, this is going to become 1 plus y over x dx plus, here my x cancels out, so we just have ln of x dy, and that would still equal 0. Okay, so here's my new m, here's my new n. Let's check, is this equation exact now? So del m del y, remember we're treating x as constant, so you could think of this term as simply 1 over x times y, and 1 over x is the coefficient. So if I take the partial derivative with respect to y, it's just going to be 1 over x. And then let's check what is del n del x. This one's easier, just derivative of natural log of x with respect to x, 1 over x. Oh me, oh my, look, these are equal. So yay, now we have an exact differential equation. So what does that tell me? Well, m is the partial derivative with respect to x of f of xy. So now we're going to take the antiderivative with respect to x. So antiderivative of 1 with respect to x is just going to be x plus, again, I want you to think of the fact that y over x, y is being held constant, right? So what's the antiderivative of 1 over x? Typically we put natural log absolute value of x. But do you remember we were given the condition that x is on the interval from 0 to infinity? So I don't have to worry about putting absolute values. So I just have natural log of x times y. Don't put the times y at the end. That would look so strange. So put it in front of ln of x. Good? Plus possibly some function of y, right? So we took the antiderivative with respect to x. We could have some terms that involve solely y that are not being captured. Okay, now let's compare that with the other term. So n is the partial derivative of f with respect to y. So take the antiderivative with respect to y. Well, this is just a constant. So slap a y on it, y times ln of x. Plus, I could potentially have some function just of x, h of x. Now compare these two. So here's y ln of x. And then here's my function of x. It's just x. And I don't have any terms that involve just y. So then from here, we can say our solution, f of x, y, is equal to x plus y ln of x plus c. Or sometimes you'll just see it written x plus y ln of x equals c. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to leave it like this. What you would want to do though, after, and I'll let you guys play with it on your own if you're interested, just verify that it's a solution to the initial differential equation as well. Okay, so you just want to verify that this is a solution in the original as well. Okay. All right, let's look at one more that involves a little bit of spicier integration techniques. If you're in my class, you don't have to copy this one down and submit it. Just watch for pure pleasure if you like, okay? So here's our differential equation. I'm not going to go through and verify that it's not exact. They're giving me an integrating factor, so I'm just going to take their word for it. Let's multiply everything through by xy. Are you ready? Everybody gets an xy. Okay, so this is going to be negative x squared y squared sine x plus 2xy squared cosine x dx plus, now we have 2x squared y cosine x dy, and then this all equals 0. So here is my m. And here is my n. Let's verify first, though, that this is exact. Don't just take their word for it. What if they were lying and they gave you the wrong integrating factor or something? Okay, del m del y. So I'm taking partial derivative with respect to y. So if you look at this first term, these are constants, right? Because those only involve x. So just think, what's the derivative of y squared? It's 2y. Okay. So just leave these guys alone and just have a 2y attached. I'm going to put the 2 in the front though. So negative 2x squared. Now it's just y to the first sine x plus, and then same thing over here. 2x cosine x, treat those as constant. Derivative is going to be 2y. So 2 times the other 2 is going to give me 4xy cosine x. How fun. Okay, now we need to find out what's del n del x. Now, in this case, we have more than one term that involves x. See, we have cosine x, and then over here we have 2x squared y. Y is being held constant. So let me just lump it in with the 2x squared. You could lump it in with the cosine x. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to do the product rule now. So remember, they have to take turns having their derivative taken. That's how I think of it. So if I take the derivative of 2x squared y with respect to x, it's going to be 4xy, and then leave cosine x alone. 4xy cosine x. And then I'm going to leave 2x squared y alone. Derivative of cosine x with respect to x is negative sine x. So I'll have negative 2x squared y sine x. Are we okay? I know some of you have taken multivariable calculus already, so this part isn't too bad. For those of you who haven't, I know this might take you a little bit of time to get used to, so it's okay. Now let's check Do these match? Indeed they do. How perfect for us. So now, since these partials are equal, my differential equation is exact. And I can solve it as such. So m is my partial with respect to x of f of xy, which is negative x squared y squared sine x plus 2xy squared cosine x. Okay, remember I need to integrate now with respect to x, correct? And if you look here, I have x squared times sine x. That's going to require integration by parts, and it's going to require multiple rounds because x is raised to the second power, not just the first power. Again, here, we're integrating with respect to x. Here's 2x, here's cosine x. I'm going to have to do integration by parts. For this case, since these are both, polynomials basically, I'm just going to go ahead and do tabular. And I'll do two separate ones. So I'll do tabular for this one term and then tabular again for this second term. And y is being held constant, so I'm going to lump it in with the d column where I'm differentiating, okay? And then I'm just going to integrate the trig function. If you haven't seen tabular integration by parts, I have a video on it. I'll link it in the description, and I'm actually going to make an updated video on it because you can use it always. You can. There's just some instances where it's ideal, like this one, but it's good to know. Okay, so I'm going to put negative x squared y squared here, and then sine x over here, basically whatever you would have picked u to be, and then dv. I'm going to keep differentiating till I hit 0. Remember, y squared is constant. So this is going to be negative 2xy squared, negative 2y squared, and then this is just 0. And then now we start integrating the second column. So take the antiderivative. So antiderivative of positive sine x is negative cosine x. Antiderivative would be negative sine x. One more, cosine x. Good? And then make sure you draw these arrows because you're going to take all these diagonal products. And then remember the signs need to alternate. So the first one stays positive, second one add a negative, etc. Okay, that's done for that first one. Let me set it up now for the second one, and we'll just do it all in one step, Okay, here we go. So we've got 2xy squared. This one's not going to take as long, you see, because x is only to the first. So, what is going on? I think my screen, I need to wipe it down. I hope that wasn't too loud. Okay. 2x y squared, and this is cosine x. And then again, remember, y squared is just constant. So this is going to be 2x. Oh, excuse me. No, it's not. Take the derivative of 2x. It's just 2. So this is 2y squared. And then if I take one more derivative with respect to x, this is just 0. Okay. So then we only need to antidifferentiate twice. So antiderivative of cosine x is sine x. And then one more antiderivative, negative cosine x. So we'll take diagonal products here. First one stays the same sign, then start alternating. Okay, guys, here we go. So f of xy, let me put of xy. It's nice. Equals. We take this product here. Don't change the sign. These two negatives will cancel out, however. So that's going to be x squared y squared cosine x. Then we take this product here. These negatives cancel, but I'm going to add one more. So then it's negative 2xy squared sine x. And then the next term is just going to stay negative, negative 2y squared cosine x plus, and then antiderivative of this guy's over here, 2xy squared sine x. And then minus minus gives us plus 2y squared cosine x. I just took antiderivative with respect to x, so I could possibly have some g of y floating around. Okay, let's look. What does this simplify to? It's a hot mess right now. But do you observe the beautiful cancellation? These are gone. Thank you. These are gone. Bravo. So we're just left with cute little x squared y squared cosine x plus g of y. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, now let's look at n. Oh, sorry. If that was an evil laugh, it shouldn't be, because this is much easier to find the antiderivative of, right? That's the partial with respect to y. It's right there. That's it. The rest are constant, okay? So no stress with this one. Whew. So partial with respect to y is 2x squared y cosine x. Take the antiderivative. Just say, hey, what's the antiderivative of plain old y? Yes, 1/2 y squared, and there's my 2 sitting out front to cancel with that. So it's just x squared y squared cosine x plus possibly some h of x. Well, now let's compare the two results. Here's x squared y squared cosine x. I don't have any additional terms, so then we can just say, all right, our final solution to the differential equation is x squared y squared cosine x equals c. Okay? And then just always make sure that you verify in practice that it's a solution to the original differential equation as well. All right, that concludes the extra examples. And then if you're in my class, we'll do more like this with the integrating factor together in class. I don't think I put too many in your homework, so you don't need to stress. They're in like the later part of the section. But just wanted you to be aware that you can make non-exact differential equations into exact ones by choosing an appropriate integrating factor. So that concludes the video. If you aren't subscribed yet and you just stumbled upon my channel right now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. And you can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Math with Professor V, for all things calculus and math related. And I put some other behind the scenes stuff up on the IG and the TikTok once in a while as well. All right, thank you guys so much for your support. I am off to ride the Peloton and then go to hot yoga. But I hope you enjoyed these examples, and I'll be back sooner than later. Bye.